What's up, Beaver fam? It's Tanner Smith from Oregon State Baseball. You're listening to the Belligerent Beavs Podcast. Go Beavs and chop.
You're such a headphone hugger.
I know. You would hug your headphones. Headphone.
You weirdo.
That's classic. Classic. Ew. It is good to be here in this space with my two best friends in Beaver Belligerents. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well.
Is it an ice storm in the Pacific Northwest right now? Because it's icy as shit out here.
No, man. We've had some really nice weather here, surprisingly. It's been amazing.
You have today?
Yeah, it was nice and sunny today. I was out working in the yard. I skipped out of work a little early.
Is the vest on?
The official Dad Yard podcast brought to you by Scott's Turf Builder.
Yeah. The Beaver Home and Garden Show.
You need like a beaver gnome in your yard.
That would be awesome.
Can we work that out? Oregon State Athletics, Damnation Collective. Like, we got to get a little Benny, a little beaver, beaver garden.
Yeah,
like a little gnomey gardeny looking fucker.
I love that idea.
Timber Joey went to Oregon State. Maybe he could chainsaw me a beaver gnome.
I bet he could.
He could.
He should. If Danny Mwanga, Oregon State sensation, was still on the Timbers, that's what he would do. Instead of just like a normal log slice, he would take the whole log and carve some kind of crazy beaver wooden sculpture out of it. There used to be, maybe there still are. There's those giant wooden sculptures of like old school Benny in the MU, and they looked pretty dope.
Yeah, I remember that.
Are they still there?
They might still be there.
It was by the barbershop.
Yeah, dude, that barbershop was a barbershop.
Yes, it was.
It was a barbershop on campus, and I got my haircut there. I'm not going to totally recall the number of times, but it was more than one. That was before I made friends with JP, and I got my haircut in JP's bathroom.
Yeah, or living room.
Yeah, if there's a baseball game, I watch in the living room. Speaking of Major League Baseball, hey, Carlos Correa back on the Twins, baby. We lent them to you for a weekend, JP.
We didn't want him. We didn't want him in his glass ankle. You guys can deal with that.
No, it turns to glass after midnight, just like Cinderella. But midnight's 7 years from now, so we'll take it for the next 6 years. That's how it works.
I did like he said that his kid's gonna grow up Minnesota nice. Did you see that?
I did not, yeah. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that after he had signed a contract with the San Francisco Giants and then signed a contract with the New York Mets. That's how you know he's a true Midwesterner. He only ended up here after it not working out in the Bay Area and New York. These fucking coastal elites just can't accept just a hardworking kid from not the Midwest. But yeah, no, I'm elated to have Carlos back. That's gonna be fun.
Enjoy your maybe 1 year of him being healthy. I'm just kidding. I'm glad you guys got him.
How dare you say this to me on a night when my tire blew out while I was driving home?
It's like your tire is Carlos Correa's ankle.
Well, good thing I've got AAA roadside assistance, bitch.
Yeah. Speaking of AAA, we should plug our new sponsor, AAA roadside assistance.
Call AAA with the promo code I'm belligerent as fuck, and they will call the cops and give you a DUI.
But you'll get home safe.
Or it's deposited to the drunk take. Either way,
not the side of the road.
Either way, you will be transported somewhere. Wow, we've had like 3 new sponsors in the first 3 minutes. What a fruitful episode. This already is.
What episode is this? I forget what it was. Did you say 79?
79.
Wow.
Oh,
We're not 80 yet. We got one more.
Wow, 80 is old.
80 is old. Should we just quit? I know there's a few people out there who think we should, but most people probably don't. So we'll keep going.
Yeah. Send us a letter if you think we should quit.
Yeah. Post off at P.O. Box 123 at the
42069.
At the corner 42069. It's on the corner of Get a Life and Fuck Off.
Yeah.
Right.
Not that corner. You go around the corner and you go down Chopham Alley, and then
right. Well, and then and that's hey,
the PO box is down the alleyway,
and that other PO box is at the corner of Go Beavs and Chopham. Right down the middle of Hope Boulevard. Everyone knows that.
Everyone does know that.
Everybody does know that. Well, what's up, y'all? It is Wednesday, January 11th, and shit's happening. It's NFL playoffs are coming up. I have the unfortunate mental gymnastics of watching my favorite team play against one of the more fun stories in Oregon State Beavs in the pros this year, in Isaiah Hodgins and the New York Giants. Sunday. And if we win, I'm not trying to say anything for both teams, but there's a real chance that the two NFL teams represented in fanhood in this podcast meet in the second round of the NFC playoffs.
Yikes.
And then there'd be
that won't go well.
There'd be fighting words.
Yeah.
You know what rhymes with yikes is Vikes.
Yeah. So on the note of Isaiah, I feel like every time I turn a Giants game on, which
he's catching the ball,
not that often, he is. Yeah. He's come on strong at the end of the season. He's
been balling. He's been balling.
Yeah.
Love to see that for Isaiah.
Yeah. So according to CBS, the Giants have upgraded at the wide receiver position from ODB, OBD,
ODB,
OBJ.
I prefer calling ODB. when
they're both from New York. One played for New York, the other's from New York.
When Odell Beckham Jr. really popped his rookie year, I feel like we were all calling him ODB at first, and that was keeping Old Dirty Bastard's spirit alive. JP, please play 5 seconds of shimmy shimmy yum shimmy yam shimmy yay by Old Dirty Bastard.
Bang, woo, bang, woo, bang, woo, bang, it's on the brain.
Yes.
A song unique. But yeah, I felt like we were calling Odell Beckham Jr. ODB for like a year. And then, I don't know, there's probably too many white people who didn't know who Wu-Tang Clan was on Long Island cheering for the Giants. So it had to be like, well, the initials are OBJ, so that's what we're going to call them. But if this is the official Isaiah Hodgins is better than Odell Beckham Jr. pipeline, I think we are all in agreement. And I also don't think that's really a hot take for right now.
For right
now, today. So Isaiah Hodgins right now is better than Odell Beckham Jr. Right now is Isaiah Hodgins better than Terrell Owens right now.
JP, please play 5 seconds of Right Here, Right Now by Fatboy Slim.
Incredible.
Great song.
Incredible. Fatboy Slim, welcome to the pod. It's been overdue.
It has.
Fatboy Slim really should have appeared by now.
I feel like we did have him at some point, but maybe
probably
not.
I don't know. They did. I won't keep asking for this. They did a fun song with Beastie Boys that one time.
Which one?
Body Moving.
Oh yeah, I didn't know Fatboy Slim was.
They kind of just like it's like Fatboy Slim on the beat, and the Beastie Boys just like yelling "Body Moving, we be body moving" over and over and over again. But you know, it's a Beastie Boys vibe.
Yeah. I feel like Fatboy Slim has a lot of like repeats. A lot of.
Has anyone seen the Belligerent Beavs and the Beastie Boys in a room together? Who knows? Same initials, same numbers.
Ooh. Is it
same
the same
level?
initials? Beastie.
Beast.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you meant
Fat
our
Boy
initials.
Slim.
No. Beastie Boys, Belligerent Beavs. Yeah. I'm not sure if all those start with B. We'll get the science back on that. We'll do some literacy analysis. But so is Isaiah Hodgins better than Marvin Harrison right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe as good as Marvin Harrison Jr.
I'd say better.
Wait. Do you mean who's right now?
Right, I mean, right in this moment, right now, is Isaiah Hodgins better than Dwight Clark right now?
Hey,
I'm trying to do something. Answer literally. I'm not trying to get anybody. All right.
no,
Is Dwight Clark alive?
no.
Oh, all right. Hey,
That's why I said
go start pretty formidable. Is Isaiah Hodgins right? So right now, today, January 11th, 2023. It's 2023, JP.
It's 2023.
2023.
Is Isaiah Hodgins better than Randy Moss right now?
Yes.
Ever.
I would agree.
Oh.
Ever.
I got a question, a hypothetical. On the same note, would you trade for Brandon Cooks or Isaiah Hodgins if you had your choice?
Oh, that's a great question.
Right now in the NFL today, Isaiah Hodgins.
Right here.
Right now.
Right here. Right now. Right here. Wait, did you just play 5 seconds of Right Here, Right Now by Fatboy Slim, or was I just doing a perfect impression of it? I don't know.
The world will never know.
Is Fatboy Slim on the podcast right now? We have no idea. We can't be sure. We can't be sure. I would trade for Isaiah Hodgins just based on upside and team friendly contract
To the Vikings.
I love Brandon. Yeah,
You guys don't really need receivers, but
we will need a third though.
but you don't need one today. You need one you can develop.
But, yeah. And I think Cook still has a lot to give, but just in terms of NFL roster construction, I think a player like Hodgins, who's really come on the last couple of months, is going to be kind of a bargain from a salary cap standpoint, and also could really turn into a hell of a receiver. Where with Cooks, you kind of know what you're getting. If I'm like the Niners. Or I guess maybe the Vikings too, because you kind of just need you're trying to make a run,
right?
I like a guy who's going to get open and can help you just elevate that passing game and kind of be the missing piece. He's been that guy for like 3 different Super Bowl teams and just keeps coming up short in Super Bowls. So I'm sad to see him just sort of stuck in that situation in Houston. But yeah, if I'm just in general as an NFL GM, I think Hodgins would be the more attractive asset from a roster standpoint.
How many more years do you think Cook has? Because he's it's going to be his 10th year.
Close, yeah, something like that. And just with concussions and the toll that this game takes on your body. I think he has another couple of seasons, so we'll see. And he had a pretty good year this year too. Just all things did. Considered, with how much of a shit show it is down there,
dude. That is you're spot on when you say he's stuck. That is an organization that doesn't look like it's coming back up from the rebuild anytime soon.
He was like one of the better fantasy receivers early, because they were losing and just like in shootouts, so he was getting his targets and he was playing pretty well. Yeah, but it's just like that's just a team without an identity right now, and you just have this veteran receiver. It's like, what the hell am I doing here? What is it's like that offseason when the Timberwolves signed Juwan Howard at the very end of his career, and then a few weeks later Kevin McHale was like, actually, you know what, let's trade Kevin Garnett and completely rebuild. And Juwan Howard was like, why the hell did you just bring me here then? Like, no, I'm not playing with Gerald Green and Rashad McCants on a 16-win team. Like,
hey, Rashad McCants, hell
out of here.
Rashad McCants, so long.
Hey, Khloe Kardashian was sitting courtside at the Target Center before she was sitting courtside anywhere else. That Kardashian curse started with Rashad McCants in Minnesota, baby. Don't say we've never contributed to NBA culture. We've paid our dues. Oh man, I love it. How are you guys feeling about the Niners though? We gotta talk about this a little bit.
Good. I feel really good about it. It's my girlfriend is a Seahawks fan, so it is house divided this week. I know.
Domestic disputes of the non-violent and charming variety. Of course,
that's right. That is right.
Don't go that far.
The Seahawks are very lucky to be in the playoffs, and that can be dangerous. Though that can be dangerous.
It's the best playoff clinching spot ever, in my opinion, from that Sunday night.
Right.
I loved no one's ever clinched a playoff spot in more hilarious fashion for my money than the Seahawks as the Lions with nothing to play for, beating the Packers with everything to play for at Lambeau Field. My favorite tweet about this was, I forget who it's from, but this person's got like millions and millions of likes and retweets. Was, I guess Aaron Rodgers did his own research on how to make the NFL playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is the most hated guy in the league nationwide.
He should
but
be.
He
Every
is
time
in my house. He is in my house, and obviously with the Seahawks playoff hopes riding on that game, my girlfriend was very anti Aaron Rodgers for 3 hours.
This is why, this is why she's our favorite, Benny. Yep. Hang on to her.
Yeah. Plan on it.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is the most hated man in my house too. My house of me. I still haven't talked to my parents about it yet. I think they're just like, fuck this season. Get it over with now. We don't want this. We don't want playoff Rodgers anymore, which is amazing. So
good.
Anyway. Yeah, it'll be fun. I kind of hope we get matched up, because that would mean we both won a playoff game.
That's true. I'll root for that.
Yeah, and then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I absolutely don't think the Vikings can go on the road and beat the Niners, but you know what? That's what they make the beer for.
Yeah,
That's why.
That's why. Yeah,
this specific scenario. I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but man, the Niners have looked very good for the last 3 months.
Yeah. You know, the one team that's looked better than the Niners over the last 3 months is the Detroit Lions, who are not in the playoffs, but he should be.
Yeah.
But had the most impact on the playoff. Let's just give this Super Bowl to the Lions. Why not?
They deserve it. The whole city of Detroit deserves it.
Hey, Jamar Jefferson deserves it.
Yes.
Jamar Jefferson won this game.
Is he on the squad, or is he still on the practice squad? He's on the actual squad.
But I've seen every single time I've turned on the Lions this year, I've seen him on the sideline. But like last year, where he got some reps and some game run, I haven't seen him make it to any game.
Is he like the Donovan Grant of the Detroit Lions? Just very visible. No,
he's not the same. Jamar gets into it, but it's Donovan Grant is the GOAT.
Yes,
of the sideline vibes guys.
True.
Yeah. I'd say he's in a class by his own. I think Jamar is a supportive teammate, but he doesn't have his own. He doesn't have his own vibes meter for the good people of Detroit. I don't think.
Also, Jamar was elevated to the actual game day roster for the first time this year, Week 18.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. So he did.
That is cool.
That pretty cool.
So
they won at Lambeau.
Yeah.
See what happens when you elevate Jamar.
Yeah.
Dan
exactly.
Campbell.
Yeah, Dan.
Help our dude out. Our dude out. All right. We've got a very, very special guest here joining the Belligerent Beavs podcast on this episode, the 79th episode of the Belligerent Beavs podcast. His plane landed. Big Dave Uiagalelei Thank you so much for joining the show.
What's up, Big Dave?
We appreciate this.
I apologize, man. We just got in the car with my cousin Clarence.
What's up, Clarence?
Hey, what's
How's
up,
it going?
I got family out here, man. I got family, all over the place.
It's been a crazy day for air travel with computers shutting down flights early this morning. Where did you land just now, and where are you coming in from?
We're coming in from Orange County, California.
Okay.
And we're here in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right. On the soil. Again, Big Dave, thank you so much for taking the time to join the podcast. We're so excited to have you, and we're very excited, of course, to have you as part of Beaver Nation. There was a lot of excitement when your son DJ announced that he was transferring to Oregon State University, and a big part of that is also having you as part of Beaver Nation, Big Dave.
Yeah.
So we're excited to have you as part of the family, and to get to talk Beaver football with you for the next year and beyond, and hopefully see you at some games in Corvallis. Just starting off, obviously the fan base and college football at large was very excited to see DJ make this announcement coming to Oregon State. What excites you about this next opportunity for him, and the fit of playing with for Jonathan Smith?
Definitely what excites me is just the opportunity to be part of to me, a team that really can help cater towards DJ's, his skill set, right? And what he does best, especially not just for DJ, just for what this school has done, with the head coach. And, being the number one defense in the in Pac-12. For me, just watching that game and how they beat Oregon by just throwing 6 passes, right? So for me, for DJ, DJ doesn't have to come here and be great, right? DJ just have to come here and be able to manage the team's offense and be a great teammate to his team. And that's why I'm so excited. You guys, what they have here and what you guys created here, which I believe you guys will probably be in the top 10 when it's all said and done, college ranking, the running game, the offensive line, your receivers, just the things that you've done with what you were limited with, right? And like I said, man, DJ had to go to a place where he was needed. My son is not afraid to compete for a position, but just coming from Clemson and the situation that was out at Clemson, and I need people to understand that I am so thankful with Coach Dabble and Coach Streeter and what they've done with my son. My son is a better quarterback today, than he ever was when he got there the first time. So there's no love lost there. Sometimes you just, there's some struggle, and you just have to deal with struggle head on. And you, like a football game at halftime, you got to make adjustments, right? And this is DJ's time to make an adjustment and see what fits him better, right? And for a father, and I'm just excited for his opportunity to come to an amazing school like Oregon. I'm excited. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited for what's about to happen.
We're definitely excited.
We gotta send you the screenshots of our group chat when we found out that your son was coming, Big Dave. It was one of the most fun nights we've had as part of this podcast. I promise. Yeah,
it blew up, definitely.
Big Dave, real quick, I just want to touch on something that you had mentioned, and I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago after we found out about DJ announcing his transfer, and it was really that in order to improve what was a pretty good offense for Oregon State, a quarterback, like you said, doesn't have to actually come in and do a whole lot more. And that really unlocks a lot when it comes to like relieving the stress or the burden of thinking you have to carry the load, and would let DJ, of course, like play much more freely. But how much of this year do you think DJ tracked or saw that made him feel like, okay, I know that this coach and the coaching staff will put me in the right position to succeed, and I know that I can go to a place like Oregon State and really make an immediate impact? Was this something that it was developing just over time, or is this something he just was considering as he entered the portal? What's that like process normally look like?
Well, at the time, it was never, the plan was never to leave Clemson, it was just something that just happened in that game when he they pulled him out. And then at that time, to me, that was the first time DJ ever made a decision for himself. If anybody watched the whole 2 years of my son at Clemson, never did he ever make excuses. Never did he ever say anything was anyone else's fault but himself. And I'm really proud at how my son handled those adversity, and just how he handled everything. But when it came time to really make that decision, so when he did make that decision to get in the portal, from that moment on, he had to look for a team that best fit his skill set. And when you look at Oregon State and what they had to offer, it's just a no-brainer for any football person. What I liked was the fact that they ran pro set, right? It's an offense that will get my son ready for the NFL. And, it's always about development, ever since my son was young. I speak about it now for others that are going through a recruiting process. It's very important about development, man. And that's what we saw here at that's what my son saw here at Oregon State. And that's he had a couple teams that was looking at him, and he had to make that decision, and he chose. My son is 21 years old. I'm just his father. So at the end of the day, us fathers have to learn how to step back and allow our sons, to make their decisions in their life, because, he's a grown man. So I'm glad. I think that's why he chose Oregon State, because they had the best opportunity to showcase his ability and to get him ready for the next level.
That's awesome. And Big Dave, I want to touch. You've actually touched a little bit on this question, but obviously at Clemson, DJ dealt with a somewhat difficult situation at the end of the year. And from the outside perspective, it seemed like he handled that with the utmost maturity and grace. But what were the ways that you saw DJ grow as both a player and a person?
I'm just very proud in how he handled it. Honestly, I don't think I would have reacted like he did. I'll be honest. I would probably be angry and probably say things that I probably would regret. But that's not DJ. DJ has been that type of kid since he was since he was young, and I definitely was so proud of him to be able to handle that. And it just speaks to his character, and to let, coaches like Coach Smith know that when they came after him, I need them to understand what type of kid he is. He's not coming in here with this persona of a 5-star quarterback, right? He's coming in here to let coach know that I'm a team player, that I'm here to help us win. I'm only good as my teammates will, as good as our teammates are here going to play, because this is not an I sport. This is a we sport. And this is something that his mom and I has always driven into him. He's a God-fearing kid. He's a kid that understands that through struggle, there's things that in struggle you'll learn that you won't learn in success, right? So he's just gaining all the things that he's learning through a lot of this life lessons, and he's here now with the opportunity with Oregon State, and I'm just so excited for him.
And on that note of just being proud of your sons, Dave, not a lot of people can say they've watched their son, win CIF championships and then play D1 college football. You're getting the chance to do that now twice with both of your sons being CIF champions, and then with Mateo also joining DJ on the field in D1 competition this year. Just how proud of a dad are you just of both of your sons and the chance to get to see them play on the field and play against each other this coming fall?
I'm first, I'm excited, but trust me, man, I'm cracking up, bro, because I know how much these two care for each other. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you a scenario. Before Mateo came to Oregon, he was in a hospital for about 4 days. Just some rare stuff happened with him with his where he was laid up in a hospital, and DJ flew in, and the first night we were in the hospital, you talk about DJ did not sleep at all. He sat by his brother's side. Every time Mateo would move, he would cover him, make sure he's good. Why I'm explaining that is because I need you guys to understand the bond that these two share, right? Mm-hmm. So in the hospital, I go, you guys are about to play each other, man. What, Mateo, are you really going to tackle your brother? And, Mateo's kind of saying, I gotta have to do after what I have to do, And right. And I'm joking around. I'm like, yeah, right. You're gonna have an open shot, and you're gonna probably trip and fall. Just so And DJ jokingly said, "This is what DJ said." He goes, "If I know for sure that we're going to win, I'm probably going to look for my brother and roll towards his side and make sure he get a couple sacks before the game ends."
That's a good big brother. That's a good big brother.
Because that's just the love those two have for each other, right? And I can't even see my son Mateo tackling his brother. I wouldn't even know how that would look. But I'm excited those two to play each other. Definitely Mateo still has to go and earn his spot. You know what I mean? It ain't my kids understand. Ain't nothing handed to you, Mateo. You still got to go out there and prove yourself, and hopefully you can make second string and get a chance to get in the game. You know what I mean? But I'm excited, man. I mean, I know me and their mom is so excited to be able to see this rivalry play, right? Somebody told me the game against each other will be the Uiagalelei bowl game, right?
It does need a name, Big Dave. Yeah. It does need a name.
It does need a name. Yeah, we got to get that NIL worked out.
That's awesome. I got a different question in a way that kind of ties back to some historical stuff with Oregon State. And I know that at one point, like, DJ was asked about if he'd be okay being called, throwing Samoan. And he said, you guys can call me whatever you want, right? Oregon State has a throwing Samoan in our history. One of our favorite players of all time, Lyle Moevao. Has Lyle reached out to DJ or vice versa? Have they connected at all?
Well, let me give you a story. I got a story for you guys.
Nice.
Well, with Coach Moevao, in 8th grade, Oregon State had a camp out at El Camino College. Mm-hmm. And Moevao was a quarterback coach at that time. And he was at the camp, and DJ walks up, flipping the football, right? And at that time, DJ was about 6'3", 200 and probably about 225 pounds in 8th grade. So walks up, flipping the ball from the coach, and he says, "Son, the D linemen are over there." and DJ goes, "Oh, coach, I'm a quarterback." And he looks at DJ like, "Really?" So DJ goes through the camp, does really well, wows all the coaches, and coach was able to offer him as an 8th grader and gave him his one of his first D1 offers.
Awesome.
So that's very cool. I'll never forget coach and for what he did for my son back then. So he's a big fan of DJ, and I'm a big fan of his. I want to say something. At that time, I remember when he was quarterback, I want to say there was about 4 Polynesian quarterbacks, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
4 or 5. I know Pritchard from Stanford. Arizona had, what was his name? Arizona had a Polynesian quarterback.
Tuitama.
Yep. Oregon had a quarterback. Oregon State.
Yep.
And Washington had Tuiasosopo, I think.
5 Polynesian quarterbacks when he was playing quarterback that year. And that I thought that was so amazing.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
And that was half the conference then.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Very cool.
So, Big Dave, we saw your tweet of buying both Beaver socks and Duck socks at the airport, and I have to ask, in November when they play each other, who do you have? Who's gonna win the game?
Look, man, I told Mateo, because it's your year, buddy. Come on, man, you're a freshman. But your brother, he's a junior/senior. He got 2 years, but where he's older. You know what I mean? That's how the Samoan Polynesian heritage, man. You gotta respect your elders, brother.
Yeah.
So, Miguel, you'll have your time, buddy. You got 3 to 4 years, bro. So I think I'm leaning towards DJ because just everything that he's been through. And as a father, you're just hoping for the best for him and the team. There's no success for DJ unless it's really success for the whole team. So, what I love is who DJ is. And I'm telling you, Oregon State, you're getting a kid who's a team player. I mean, his character speaks self. He will do everything in his power to make sure that he whatever he puts out there on Saturday, that it'll be the best of who he is. That will help the team win, right? My son is not an eye guy at all. He shies away from the whole 5-star all of that stuff. That's probably why he blocked me from social media.
That's this normal son behavior. Yeah.
All about that, and I need all the fathers to understand. I get it. I know when you repost when 247 or Max Preps pulls out your son is the number one quarterback and all of that, and you post it, and your son gets all angry at you. Trust me, it happened with me. It's all the same, but you are okay to post those things. And
of course,
DJ's kind of understanding now. You know what I mean? He's like, okay, Dad, I see. Okay, I get it. You know, it's just there's nothing wrong to be a proud father. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not out here saying my son is better than anyone. I'm not out here being crazy about it. Man, there is a thing that a father wants to be the number one, a number one cheerleader for their kid. And that's who I am to my family, so sure. I know some people, some people can take it the wrong way, but it's okay. It comes with the territory. And I need everyone to understand that, as long as you just keep pouring love and, but I'm just so excited for DJ's situation and having my son Mateo at Oregon and, just to be able to, the thought of being able to see them both play. I'm hoping that there's a night game here and a day game over there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just those things out. And now it's going to Clemson so far. So now it's just here on the West Coast,
Yep.
Now all my family can come down and you're going to see the Uiagalelei clan, and I'm very excited. Very, very excited.
For sure. Well, JP, please add the breaking news soundbite to this. Because we have it on record, Big Dave Uiagalelei declaring support for Oregon State over Oregon, at least through the 2023 season. We have it on record. But that goes in perfectly to my next and maybe my final question, Big Dave, is I think we all started to sort of believe that, okay, this might happen. We saw you tweet, I think it was a few days before DJ formally announced it, that just the words like, I love Corvallis, prayer hands emoji. How excited are you personally to be in Corvallis and to get to a game at Research Stadium? I know you mentioned it's going to be so much easier for the whole Uiagalelei clan to be there and for your family and friends. We're very excited to catch you at a game in Corvallis sometime this fall. We call it the Paris of the Pacific Northwest because that's what it means to us. But yeah, so how excited are you to get to Corvallis and actually get to watch some football there?
You already know I'm totally excited, just being able to see my son. I'm always rooting for him to do good out there, and there's nothing. I just it's all love, right? And just know I'm very adamant out there and very loud, and I show love to everyone, man. I truly believe what you pour out is what you receive, right? So that's all I pour out is love, man. And I get a whole lot of it back, and it is what it is. And, I'm definitely going to go out there and root for the Beavers. And so hopefully I want them to win Pac-12,
Nice. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I want them to shock the world, and I believe you guys can do this. Just on the stats alone of just with the, with the weapons that they had here. I think Coach Smith and the offensive coordinator and the defense is everyone that I talked to just talked very highly of the coaching staff here. I talked, the Polynesian D-line coach is a good friend of my brother's. I got to have a conversation with him, and then we spoke about just what they needed, in a quarterback, and making sure that it was a right fit. And they did their due diligence on calling Clemson, the coaches, and asked about DJ and stuff like that. And he shared that all they got back was just nothing but positives, and it was just a great perfect fit for Oregon State and DJ, right? And I'm just so excited, extremely excited.
Awesome. We are too. Anything else for Big Dave?
We all are. No, I appreciate the time, Big Dave.
Thank you so much, Big Dave. Really
on.
appreciate
thank
this.
you.
Taking time out of your busy travel day. Very excited to have your son as part of Beaver, part of the team, and your family as part of Beaver Nation. So we'll catch you in Corvallis sometime soon, and let's talk again before the season starts.
Hey, brother, anytime you guys need me to get on, just give me a call, send me a message. I'm all for, promoting the team that my son plays for, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Learning what the history and the tradition of the Beavers, it'd be my pleasure. I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank you so much, Big Dave. And thank you, Clarence. Travel
Dave.
safe, y'all.
Thanks, Big Dave.
Appreciate it, man.
Bye.
That was so fun.
That was awesome. He's awesome.
I was totally expecting the diplomatic approach, and for him to say, I know the pragmatic fatherly approach of being like cheering for the older one because he'll probably be out of school first, and Mateo has time, but. I'm still very ecstatic to hear I want Oregon State to win this year. We'll worry about next year when next year comes. You heard it here. Big Dave Uiagalelei swearing fealty to Oregon State and his elder son DJ this fall. That was awesome.
I have to say, obviously wanted DJ to succeed a lot prior to that conversation, but to see how proud he is and how invested he is and has been in both of his kids. Man, doesn't that just make you want DJ to succeed that much more, to know that he has that family support behind him?
Right. Because we need it to get to the point where Big Dave gets the main part of the college game day feature piece. Yeah, that's gonna be must-see TV when it happens. And I love the story and the imagery of Lyle being D-line's over there, homeboy. I'm a quarterback, and Lyle being Lyle, a big quarterback himself, being really, okay. Good shit. Without that coaching from Lyle, who knows? Who knows where DJ ends up? So shouts.
Or maybe
to
Lyle was just thinking way ahead here.
Way ahead,
planting seeds.
That's right.
Yeah. Play chess while your enemies play checkers, baby. Well, thank you again to Big Dave Uiagalelei for joining the pod. We are appreciative of every single interview we've ever gotten to do on this show. But Big Dave joining from the car right after landing at PDX is an all-timer for sure for this show. So is at D Uiagalelei on Twitter. Big Dave's a must follow.
100%.
For everyone but DJ, who apparently he still hasn't blocked.
Man, the other thing that I really, really liked that Big Dave had to say, actually two things sort of about the same issue, was number one, when Oregon State called Clemson had nothing but glowing reviews for DJ. And the other thing, and I think almost more importantly, is Big Dave had all the reason in the world to be upset at Clemson. I think it could be argued that DJ was sort of on the back burner and people were waiting for that freshman quarterback to get in. And he had nothing but good things to say about Clemson too. And I think that just shows you sort of the family that DJ comes from and sort of the values that he grew up with. And man, he's a stud of a football player, but if his dad's any indication, he's an even better person. So it's awesome to have him part of the Beaver fam.
Absolutely.
Amazing. We should move on to women's basketball, and I guess we're a little out of order right now, which could be changed with editing. So maybe what I'm saying right now never even makes it to the episode. We're just going. Well, we need to do the Raegan Beers segment, and that kind of can lead us into talking about women's basketball. So just real quick, I'll go. I've had Summit Brewing Company on the show many times. This is a summit that I haven't had on before though, and as you know, it's been a saga of a day and a saga of a week for me. So that's a perfect time to enjoy a frost brewed Summit Saga IPA, their flagship IPA. It's a saga in my mouth, and everyone's invited. But so far, I'm the only one who's shown up.
Even me?
So yes, especially you, Jay. Summit Saga, good IPA, and that's what I'm drinking.
Nice.
Cool. It kind of sounds like you're saying Saga.
Saga.
Saga. It's a Saga Genesis.
Shout out Sonic, the hedgehog.
Saga.
Shout out Big Hurt Baseball on Sega Saturn. That's a console.
No, Saga Saturn.
Saga Saturn. And to eugenics, the male enhancement drug that Frank Thomas has endorsed and is on every single channel after like 11 p.m.
And Doug Flutie.
Him and Doug Flutie just making not at all subtle remarks is like you'll sling better dick. They're just in gyms going like, that's right, guys. Get big. And I'm not talking about muscles. We're talking about your penis. It's like, yeah, you looked at my wife, smiled, and nodded. Like the innuendo is not lost on me. Sex! Have it! As a 45-year-old. Eugenics.
45.
55. 65. Better sex as you age with eugenics. Throw Hail Marys like Doug Flutie in the bedroom.
Oh,
I really need to stop.
Okay. Now do our new sponsor read.
This episode of the Belligerent Beavs Podcast is brought to you by Eugenics, and their new product, Belligerent Bedroom. Do you want to make love like a clueless 19-year-old? Get Belligerent Bedroom. More boners than you know what to do with or know where to put. Belligerent Bedroom.
And remember, you can't spell chop 'em without sex.
Boners. See, this is why no one hires me from my away from my shitty day job. Because the background checks find these bits. And, hey, I want them to know the unfiltered version of us. So, we were getting to JP's beer, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Wait, and this is hilarious. My beer's name is Fantasy. With the PH.
That's the hardest Ben's ever laughed on this show.
It's so good. You guys playing this?
No.
I feel like I'm being punked right now. Especially when we get to my substance of choice.
I'm fucking crying. My name's Ben, and I brought Viagra to the party. Oh my God, listener. I'm so glad the Big Dave interview went well because... It's so hot in here. Fuck. So, Fantasy, the latest double IPA by Eugenics. JP, what is tell us about this beer, JP.
It is a double IPA. You got that right. But it's actually from Pueblo Vida in Tucson.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a way to make that dirty, and yeah, I can't. But
well, it's described as okay. Well, these are the flavor profiles: citrus, juicy, dank, earthy, warm.
Those are the same flavor profiles of Eugenics. Warm. Ladies love the warm. Trust me, bro. Oh my God.
Anyways, it's good. I gave it a 4. I think what did I say? I gave it a 4.20, 420.
Hey! Which is a good segue into my Raegan Beers segment, which
marijuana.
Is I just smoked a joint with a big lighter.
Littering hand.
Wait, did you smoke while we were on with
No,
Big
I
Dave?
smoked before.
like an adult, like a professional journalist. I smoked a joint before doing this
interview.
We'll wait for the second time Big Dave's on before I break out the big candle lighter.
Right? Yeah. Just
honor.
Oh, that is. What kind of joint?
It was citrusy, dank, and warm, and
oh my god,
delicious.
Nice.
And
love it.
Was it handed to you in a poorly decorated fitness room by Frank Thomas? And did he not at your ego? Trust me, she'll like it too. What would you do if Thomas squeezed your bicep while hinting at your sex life? I would be terrified.
Yeah, my bicep would turn into a Gumby bicep and just go down.
I don't want anyone who has ever been called the Big Hurt to talk about what I do in the bedroom while touching me.
And winking at my wife.
Winking at my wife and handing me pills.
That's what you just do what the man says. And you'll survive.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
But I have something to show you guys.
Okay, Raegan Beers. Oh, okay.
Dude, it really looks like you're about to rob a bank in Fast and the Furious 10 with that hat on. Benny is wearing the Japanese script Chop-'em beanie, but it looks a little bit more like a skull cap.
Does it fit like a skull cap?
Not like a skull cap's the one that sits above your ears, right?
God,
like that Funky Paul Molina wears.
No, that's like a beanie. A pull down skull cap.
You and I have big heads, Benny, so it's gonna rock a little bit tighter.
You gotta wear it high, anyways. That's how I wear my beanies, like E40. Look how my hat is.
Oh,
yeah.
Now you look like you're about to lose a battle at the shelter in 8 Mile.
Oh, I thought that I looked like I was about to ghost ride the whip.
Yeah, you
look good. Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna leave it on.
Please play 5 seconds of Ghost Ride It by Mr. Fab.
Welcome back to the show, Mr. Fab. It's been a while.
Yes. Hey, Raegan Beers.
Cheers
to Raegan Beers.
To Raegan Beers.
And Big Dave.
Damn right.
Big Dave.
And Big Dave. Thanks, Big Dave, for jumping on and joining us.
To the most unhinged fucking transition in this show's history, which is saying a lot. Ugh,
yep.
I need to
if I ever have a kid, I want to be like Big Dave. He seems like an awesome dad.
We need to spit some audio about Raegan Beers and Oregon State women's basketball because we've been hinting at it for 20 minutes and we're doing a really bad job of transitioning to it. So on that note, when you think about transition, I'm kidding. Transition defense, which was on point in Tempe the other day as Oregon State held Arizona State to under 30% shooting from the floor and won 69-59 against the Sun Devils. 69, nice. They also
nice.
a very heartbreaking loss of the previous game, which was at the hands of the number 15 ranked Arizona Wildcats by a score of 72-69. Nice. So overall, I'm calling this a nice road trip to the desert, where it's another one of those good losses, which I know are just annoying the hell out of this team because they are good enough to be taking down these teams, and we saw them do it against UCLA, and they almost did it on the road against Arizona, a team that has championship aspirations on a national level this year. But hey, the princess that was promised, Raegan Beers, 5th straight double-double, 20-12 in this recent one. Recent win against Arizona State, back-to-back Pac-12 Freshman of the Week awards. It's same old with Raegan Beers at this point. She just keeps on impressing, and hasn't had a bad game in what feels like months, and really feels like between her and Talia, we have the talent and the dynamic play and the scoring level to really play with anybody on any night, and that's going to be exciting as hell come tourney time.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting with Raegan is like just that consistent and steady improvement. It isn't like a flash in the pan type performance. She's still, coming off the bench, getting starter minutes. It was a very short rotation against Arizona, a short bench, right? With just pulled AJ and Raegan off the bench. So they just kind of ran out of gas at halftime. They had a nice lead, but we still saw a lot from Raegan in the second half. I can't recall if it was the Arizona State game where she was like held at pretty low figures through the first half and just kept kind of chipping away at the game. That's a level of maturity where you don't let a poor performance or partially poor performance break you down and get in your head, and just get back to basics, do what you know you're good at. And that's where I honestly think that it's just these fundamentals with Raegan that it makes it so smooth and easy to watch as just a viewer. When you see her play and she gets the ball, there's nothing hectic about it. As a freshman, that says a lot as well. And as a big, that's also saying a lot, given a lot of bigs at this level just aren't really ready to do anything but like one thing. You're there to block, you're there to rebound, you're there to get putbacks, right? I mean, and they're incorporating her. Scott and really Talia is making sure that she's getting her looks as well. Raegan's getting her looks as well, and dishing her the ball. And Bendu, I saw a lot of play from Bendu trying to make sure that they're opening up the offense. I think it's really just the shooters are just happy to have somebody down low like Raegan. But I'm really impressed with her development and also how the team themselves are helping to drive that development. And like you said, Terry, there's this is a game that they're still kicking themselves for not pulling it out, but they're just knocking on the door, and there's so many new players and new moving parts that I still really truly believe that they're going to put something major together to wrap up this season. And we're gonna see the dynamic duo of Talia and Ray just coming out and destroying people by the end of it all.
I agree. And we've talked about this quite a bit, but they're so young, both Talia and Raegan, and they are the bona fide stars of the team, right? Like they are getting most points, most rebounds, and they're the most involved, especially in the offense. The thing that impresses me about Raegan, so we talked about this last week, was her shooting percentage and taking smart shots. So against Arizona, she was 9 for 14 from the field. She only got to the line once and made it. Against Arizona State, this is the first time in conference play that I've seen her shoot under 50%. She shot 4 for 9, but she got to the line and shot 12 for 15. Like that is smart basketball, and that's smart for a 5-year senior. The fact that she is taking those smart shots, and if she's not getting them to drop, she's drawing the foul. That's a veteran player right there. And like you said, Jay, these freshmen come in and they're really good at one thing, and they're still learning what it means to play college basketball and the grind that goes into it. So it's rare to see this from a freshman, and it's not a flash in the pan. She's doing this week in and week out, and this team's only gonna learn how to play only better with each other. And I fully believe that they have the capability of putting something really special together as we get closer to the end of the season.
Raegan shooting almost 60% from the field on the season.
It's crazy.
So that's like, well, I don't even think she got off to a slow start, but obviously the last 5-6 games have been sensational. So that's not even really reflective of how good it's been. To be shooting that good from the field with taking the number of shots that she's taking right now. So Talia's taking the most shots on the team with 202, and Raegan's second at 149. I think that gap, there'll probably be, a little bit of that'll end up closer to each other in terms of the shot distribution percentage by the end of the year. But for her to, and like, because it's not just, at the rim either. Like Raegan's got some range too.
Exactly.
And she had, the only thing she kind of had a slow start at the season shooting from the line. So as she gets more and more dangerous and teams are realizing that they're going to put her on the line more. We're going to see those free throws, that free throw percentage even creep up higher and higher. So this is like, we're seeing the birth of a superstar right now, and it's getting better and better on a game by game basis. And it's really exciting. Like it's maybe one of the most exciting 10-6 teams I think there's been. I know some of these losses, to some of these good teams have been tough. That LSU one, they'd like to have back. That Iowa one, even though I do think there was 3/4 of good play in that game, sort of a tilted box score in that one. But they're still 8-1 at home. We've got 3 straight games at home against the Northwest schools: Wazoo, Washington.
I'll be there on Saturday or on Sunday. I'll be there on Sunday. I mean, for UW.
Nice. UW Sunday. Yeah. UW 12 p.m. Pacific time. JP in the house. Are you bringing the whole fam?
I'm bringing both kids.
Both kids. Ooh, JP and the little ones in the house.
If you see a Beavs and Beers and Buckets hoodie, that's me. Come say hi.
How do we know that's you? Like, these things have been flying off the shelves.
That's true. Okay, I don't know.
It could be any one of the 2,000 people who bought one.
I was gonna say maybe the corduroy Chopham hat, but that's also been going like crazy. So I don't know. I'll wear 3 chains. If you see a guy in 3 chains, it's me.
3 chains? That's probably true. I mean, you're pretty close to Albany. There could be.
If you see a guy in a half pearl, half chain necklace,
half pearl, half chain, with 2 kids hanging off of them, one of them also wearing a half pearl, half chain, just junior version of the same outfit on his 6th cup of Dippin' Dots. Then that's me.
Yep. I did ask I said if your cousins don't want to go to the game, do you still want to go? And he was like, I just want to go for the Dippin' Dots. I was like, I want to go for the Gill Beers, man. We're all in right now.
Wait, have you had a Gill Beer yet?
No, I can't wait. I'm gonna have like 40, and then I'll sleep it off before driving home.
I was gonna say I want to go to watch you have the Gill Beers, have 40 Gill Beers,
and
watch Raegan Beers go for 40.
We need to record a live show in Gill with Gill Beers, because that's something we've been wanting for a long time. Since JP and super secret producer Skinder were hiding beers outside of the dumpster right outside
in the parking lot. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I think we have a 3-game winning streak coming up. So 4-game winning streak.
Ooh.
Can I call that? Like when I said bowl eligible by the bye, I'm calling win number 2, win number 3, win number 4. Wazoo, UW, Oregon in that regard. We will not lose another game at Gill Coliseum in the month of January.
Ooh.
I'm going to throw an even hotter take to one up you. I'm going to say we win at Stanford.
That is a hot take. Dude, it's already
a hot take.
After talking about Frank Thomas, Doug Flutie, and eugenics, it's already too hot in here.
You don't need eugenics once you heard that hot take.
I sure don't.
Nope.
Buddy. All right. We're winning at Stanford. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that game on Pac fucking 12? Are you kidding me?
Do we have to answer that?
Yeah.
It's obvious. Another BB, the Beaver bias.
Yeah. Shout out the Pioneers.
But Stanford's number 2. Stanford should be on national television every night.
No, Stanford doesn't deserve shit.
Hey,
That's true. Good. I know, but their fan support sucks.
Their fan support does suck.
Yeah.
I don't care about Stanford, but their women's basketball team is amazing.
They're very good.
They're so fucking good. I think Haley Jones is probably the best player that we'll see all season, and we have seen Caitlin Clark.
Whoa, that is all right. We'll see.
Do we need more hot takes? I don't have another one.
No.
All right. Anything more on women's basketball? Anyone? And nice game for Noelle Mannon.
Yes. Yeah.
Noelle's been playing a bit more lately. Been scoring.
Well, yeah. I got one more thing to say.
What do you got, Jay?
It's about the fans who were not thrilled with the squandering of the Arizona game, and I saw a lot of chatter on Twitter. And I just want to say, be patient. Be patient.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I agree. This wasn't the best way to lose. We had like a 15-point lead or something with a few minutes left, and they pulled it off. They've got some experience. They're at home. and they pulled it off. And I know they were on the downward spiral in a way for where we have left them at halftime. But we opened the door in the third quarter, and I think that's just a lot about experience, where some players know how to take advantage of halftime adjustments immediately and make it a game for the remaining quarter, and that's what happened. And then they won by 3. So, yeah, I really want to stress patience with this team, and the men's team will transition to that. But if you're a Beaver Hoops fan, this is the time to take an extra breath.
Right.
Be patient. Just be patient. Good things are on the horizon. Great things are on the horizon. Some might be sooner than others, but be patient.
Right. Yeah, the lead was 12 minutes at the final TV timeout with 3:57 left. And that's when Arizona scored 15 straight.
12 points. Yeah.
And so, yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Here, can we stop being outraged at other
about
Beaver?
every loss?
About what I want to stop this being outraged at other Beaver fans who aren't as outraged as you. Can we just stop this argument in the fan base?
How are you accepting this mediocrity? It's like it always falls back to that.
Let's remind ourselves, you literally can't hold the coaches accountable. Like you cannot. You can lose sleep at night. You can throw empty beer cans against the wall as hard as you can in the basement at 2100 Northwestern Harrison Boulevard all you want. It doesn't make a difference. I'm not telling you how to experience your fandom, whatever. Be as outraged as you fucking want. But this is such an annoying trend, especially with Oregon State basketball, where it's like people are like, oh, well, Casey Ubeckwa's played 3 games in the last 4 years, and some slapdick is like, this is why we'll never be anything. It's like, that is not why. That person being reasonable, having a reasonable interpretation of this one game is not the reason why we will never be anything. This mountain road trip really fucking sucked. I'm pissed. The team, we talked about this last week. This has been a road trip that sucked basically every year, with the exception of a couple years where I think we've gotten Utah. The year we ended up going to the Elite Eight, we won at Utah. Even before going on the crazy run, I think that was one of the games where there was the signs of oh, this is a team that can win games in tough places against tough teams. And Wayne needs to get some shit going. And this was a terrible showing. I'm not trying to say it wasn't, but also there's nothing wrong with understanding this is part of it. I'm not ready to completely blow all of this up, but I am way more pessimistic right now about the prospects of at least this year's men's basketball team at this time right now than I was at this time last week. Both those games were dog shit. There wasn't a lot to take away from it, and I'm not dogging any one player's effort. And both Colorado and Utah, we're at this level. Every team has dudes, and every team has ballers and guys who are going to play. You're at altitude, and it's a tough road trip, and I get it. But teams win in those places. There are teams that do it. It is possible. And to get blown out back to back, I'm finding myself with less to hang on to. And I know that there are overarching positives with this team. We're going to get to the Donovan Grant vibes meter in a second. I'm very interested in Uiagalelei's take. But also know that no matter what Benny says, the Donovan Grant vibes meter reads, he's not giving this team a pass for being mediocre. None of us are. I feel like this fan base is just exhausting itself by trying to figure out what's the right level of outrage to be. No matter how mad you are at Wayne Tinkle's the coach. That's going to keep happening, at least for this season and probably for several more seasons in the future. So I don't even want to sit here and just talk about how mad we should be. I thought it was a shitty fucking road trip. There's not a lot of the X's and O's I really want to get into. There wasn't much. There's almost no meat on the bone of these 2 games. They were just shitty basketball games, and it was a big step back in my opinion. And I'm feeling, just kind of up against the wall with this team. And I know that, we could bounce back and have a couple good games. And I'll be right back to oh, look at the vibes. Look at how well they're playing. They like each other. Some good basketball is actually happening. I'm not, trying to blow it up or anything like that, but it was a bad road trip. But I'm trying to at least be reasonable with my expectations and with my level of reaction to these two basketball games that we just watched that I wish I had not watched because anything else would have been a better use of time.
Well, yeah, I agree with basically everything that you said. I think that there is that feeling of there being less to hold on to right now. I think there's a lot of excitement around this squad being young, them liking to play with each other, but that's not winning games, right? And so I think that because the team's so young, similar to the women's team, they have a huge ceiling to grow into. But like it has to be said, and maybe you'll get mad at me for saying this, but so be it. But like Wayne has to get this ship turned around and figured out. Or we do need to find someone that can. And I'm not saying like he should be fired right now. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm saying like there has to be, we can't just continue to get blown out and blown out and blown out and blown out. And that it felt like that's what was happening a lot last year. Feels like that's sort of the trend that this is going in this year. And Wayne can absolutely get this turned around. We have the talent to do it. But if those blowouts become more consistent, we need to sort of have that door at least cracked open. And here's why. Because people say the argument for men's basketball has always been, we can't recruit to Corvallis. Corvallis is so hard to recruit to. Well, then why did our football team just go 10-3, right? Like Corvallis is, I understand Corvallis isn't LA or Corvallis isn't the Bay Area or Seattle or whatever, but like
it's the Paris of the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. but you can get good players to come to Corvallis. That to me, that's a myth. And yeah, you maybe it's finding that diamond in the rough, 3-star recruit. Riley and Smith have both been really good at that. And our basketball program with the few exceptions have not been. And so I agree with you that the sentiment of the sky is falling, number one, it's not healthy. and number two, it's a total reactionary, sort of opinion. But to counter that, I do think that we need to break ourselves out of this myth of like, we're lucky to have what we do have and
right.
To sort of, right. So
I thought, and sorry, JP, I don't want to completely hijack the conversation, but the game against Utah just really felt like a duck. And this was like, we laid a duck or threw up a whatever. I didn't want to use fucking duck terminology, but I did. Because we had that great 3 quarters against Oregon and then a bad 4th quarter. And then you have 5 days off before the next game, and you come out and you play. It's that flat.
Yeah.
And there's like nothing to go off of. It really felt like that loss at Oregon should have been like a teaching moment and a building moment. And to just come out with that kind of loss against Utah and then back that up with just your typical 20-point loss at Colorado, it's like, all right, well, now we got nothing out of that 3-game road trip. And here we are again.
Okay. Let me take this positively for a second.
Please do. Benny and I are suffering, so please.
Do you guys know what happened 8 years ago today?
8 years ago today.
Today is January 11th, 2023.
January 11th, 2015.
Yep.
Is that when we hired Wayne Tinkle?
Nope.
No. What happened on January 11th, 2015, JP?
Langston Morris Walker, strummed the guitar, baby, made a go-ahead layup with 26 seconds remaining in the game at Gill Coliseum to go up by, 2 points, 1 point, whatever it was, against, at that time, number 7, Arizona.
And that's who we got coming.
And it was like our first win over a top 10 team in like 15 years at that point. I don't know how many we've had since then, maybe a few. But there were some good vibes all around. Gary Payton II, I think, led the Beavs in points. Oh, no, Langston did. Langston did with 12, GP with 10. Listen to the starting squad.
DeVivier had a huge shot, right?
DeVivier had a huge shot. Gomez, Shaftanar, and then a short bench. Vic Robbins, Jamal Reed, and Tanner Sanders, the only 3 bench players to get in this game. And we won 58-56 to upset 14-1 Arizona as TJ McConnell missed a shot at the buzzer.
And who do we have coming to Corvallis next? A 14-win Arizona team.
There you go.
All right, I'm sold. You did it. You went and did it. I'm back. I'm back, baby. like a fresh dose of eugenics. I am rock hard.
Damn it. I told you guys to practice patience. And what I saw was very obviously our biggest weakness, and that's what happened over this trip, especially not the mountain trip, not just the Oregon game, is that teams shut down GT and they shut down Pope. And when we had 2 guys, really for a while, just one guy with Jordan Pope being our main offensive threats, the main people that could carry us when we need a shot, when we need a bucket. And those guys were a combined like 25%, 26% shooting over the 2 games against Utah and Colorado. And you could chalk that up to just, shitty luck and just a dry spell of when you're a shooter, it happens. And it's unfortunate maybe that it happened with both of them at the same time. But these are teams adjusting. These are teams game planning, scheming, knowing, let's make other people make buckets. Let's make other people take some shots. And we're seeing some. I mean, I feel like Andela has, done his part. I don't expect the dude to be a 12 to 15 point per game kind of guy. I'd rather that he focuses on being or pretending to be taller than he really is and rebounding better and helping the team out there. Not that it's his fault, that it's a struggle to rebound. We're undersized, and that's the other thing is that we're still undersized. We're still young from our main scoring threats, and whether they're just it's in the midst of a poor shooting streak, or these are teams adjusting to them, or it's the fact that we faced a Utah team that was undefeated in conference play on the road. I'm not worried about this trip. Terry, you talked about this like the sky was falling. I am not worried about this trip.
I wanted to see something on this trip.
Well, of course, I always want to see something on every game, but I also put it into perspective of why didn't this work, right? And I think the number one thing you can throw out there is it was a road game.
Right. Well, call yourself Mary Poppins, because you've already given me a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down. So okay. I'm feeling a lot better, even talking to you. But I do want to acknowledge that. I'm not going to sit here and be like, fire Wayne, kill them all, burn down Gil, fuck everything. I'm whatever. But I do think it needs to be noted. I wanted something to hold on to in these 2 games, and I don't feel like I got anything.
Yeah,
that's it. But hey, beat Arizona this week on Thursday, and or tonight when we're recording this on Wednesday. So we beat Arizona. Is this gonna come out before the?
Didn't you join us on playback?
Did you? Yeah, join us yesterday for the playback for the thrilling win against Arizona. Jordan Pope's last-second buzzer beater from 35 feet. As time expires.
I think one thing that my final point that I want to throw in here about the men's basketball team is I'll start it off with a question. Guess how many free throws?
That's not a question.
Guess how many free throws we made on this road trip.
It felt like
6.
4.
It was 6.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. Hold on. It might've been 7. It was 6. No, 6. Math is hard. 6. We
numbers,
made 6
they're beautiful,
free throws.
but they're hard. Why are numbers hard, Terry?
Because of eugenics. But that's fucking crazy. We got to the line 11 times in 2 games.
Yep.
Yeah. We're taking the lowest number of shots at the rim among all Pac-12 teams. Shouts to the No Truck Stops podcast for that bit of data that I saw on Twitter today.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. And that's obviously because we're undersized, which is the other problem, that you can do something about it, but you can't fix it 100%. But we're just getting out rebounded every single game. And I think that's why it's so frustrating, or that's why it feels so frustrating.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
All right. Well,
have some patience. Have some hope.
Stop them.
hope. I feel it. I've seen that word in a catchphrase before. That's a word I haven't heard in a long time.
Hey, speaking of catchphrases, remember I found that somehow we're on IMDb?
Wait, we are? Wait, no, yeah. I think you did send that.
I don't. Why are we on IMDb?
I don't know. I was like looking up other stuff, and I was like, we're on IMDb
because we're stars. That's why.
Well, either way, I tried to add. It did add some of this stuff, but I tried to add a catchphrase of you can't spell chop 'em without hope, and I don't know if it's on here. I don't know if it. Oh, that one of the taglines made it, just chop 'em, but you can't spell chop 'em without hope. Did not make it as a tagline.
Well, did you try to spell chop 'em without hope? Did you do this?
I didn't. I submitted it to some reviewers that work for IMDb/Amazon. Isn't it on my Amazon?
Yeah, I was.
Benny, figure it the fuck out.
I was wandering during COVID through different Amazon buildings because some of them have really, really sick views, and no one was in the office
to expedite this.
And I took the elevator. I took the elevator up to like the 40th floor of some building in downtown Seattle. No one was on the floor, but it was like IMDb was everywhere. So nice. I randomly stumbled upon the IMDb office where the reviewer's desk probably was.
Which is on the moon. Ben took an elevator to the moon. That's the power of Amazon, kids.
So also when under the parents guide, profanity, it says yes. But I just submitted for alcohol, drugs, and smoking. I said yes, for sure.
Is that an option? Yes, for sure.
You can type in whatever you want, I guess.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
That's I can put that under sex and nudity, Terry.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Blunts and eugenics.
Okay, we're done. End this thing.
I'm having fun. How long has this episode been going?
Too long.
Been 84 years. And almost 84 episodes, 79 episodes. Thank you again to Big Dave Uiagalelei for your time tonight and just your energy and spirit and passion. Love having you as part of Beaver Nation, big guy. So it's going to be a great season. Welcome to the family, and thank you again for taking time tonight. Thank you, Beaver fam, for listening to the 79th episode of the Belligerent Beavs Podcast. Again, recording late this week on Wednesday, January 11th, hoping this is coming to you as the Oregon State men's basketball team is upsetting or just upset the University of Arizona Wildcats. No bear down tonight, Wildcats, or last night. Or ever, because Wildcats don't really bear down. That still doesn't make sense. But that video of David Hasselhoff drunk in your student section one time is still kind of cool. I'm a little jealous about that. My name is Terry Horseman, co-host of the Belligerent Beavs Podcast, at Terry Horseman on Twitter, at Terrence Horseman on Instagram.com. I'm joined, as I always am, by Benjamin Lawrence Sebastian Weehage. He's Benny with the good quaff. Benny Bedlam, because he's fucking crazy, folks. Benny Burner, the full Weehage. Benny Bowl Game at Benny L1986 on your social media channels. And, of course, our heart and soul, JP Bertram, at the Trill J on Twitter. That's at the _Trill_J, because he's too trill to be real. And at JP Bertram on Instagram. Follow us at Belligerent Beavs on Twitter, at Belligerent Beavs on Instagram, at Belligerent Beavs on Mastodon, Belligerent Beavs on the book face, Belligerent BeavsBeavs.soundcloud, IMD Belligerent Beavs for sex, drugs, nudity, rock and roll, and all types of ill shit. Shout out, Don't Be a Menace at South Central while drinking your juice in the hood, and all other 90s hood movies. Follow us on all the socials. Rate and review and subscribe and shit wherever you get your podcast. 5 stars. Give us a 5-star review, or don't. We don't care really. And suggest the show to a friend, please. That would be nice. And yeah, we'll see you again next time for an another thrilling episode of the Belligerent Beavs Podcast. But until then, remember, you cannot spell chop 'em without hope. So chop 'em.
Chop 'em.
Chop 'em.
Bring back Bernice, baby.
We out.